Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Gooners podcast. Today is a great day for me personally. It's a day of goals met, the Gooner family banding together, and most importantly, a day of giving. It's Friday as well. So not only are we giving away some amazing prizes for Gooners versus Cancer, but it's also the second weekly installment of the Gooners Pod Week in Review. So let's get started. Let's pop some champagne. It's a jam-packed show, but first, please enjoy the next 84 seconds of absolute stupidity because you're watching the Gooners podcast.
Once upon a time, way back when there were only 9,000 Arsenal podcasts, 5 young men from various backgrounds, an Irish kid with a horrible haircut, a young Jewish nerd who hadn't discovered food yet, a child from Hemel Hempstead who didn't want to be English no more, a handsome advertising magnate with impeccable judgment, and a young Mexican AC Milan fan hatched a plan to take over the world of Arsenal podcasts. But then these boys became men. Jared, Mikey, Ewan, Magic, and Andy. And the rest, my friends, is history. And now, all these years later, you tune in every so often to hear their incredible takes, their football knowledge, and their sensual advice. But now, it's gone too far. You, our fans, are at long last witness to season
7.
Welcome to the Gooners Pod.
Hello and welcome to a very special Gooners pod. It's not. It's the 7th season. It's not a 2-4-6. It's the 7th. And
2-4-6-5.
2-4-6-7.
7.
So it's great. Today is an exciting
Does that get
day
you in
for
trouble?
Me. No, because no one watches our podcast. So you don't need to suggest that. I was worried about that, and we'll deal with it when it comes. But let's get right to it. So welcome back to the Gooners podcast, to my podcast cousin from another muzzin. I don't know what a muzzin is. You know her as the host of the Highbury Squad. You know her as the soccer diva. You know her as the mom of Vinny and Vespa. You know her as I think I should quit while I'm ahead. Welcome the hell back to the podcast, Sophie Nicolaou. Are you excited, worried, scared, honored? What are we today?
To be here?
Well, for this show.
Oh, for your show.
Knackered.
Always knackered, and always a bit petrified about what could potentially transpire on this podcast. I hope you've warned Ruth or sent her a previous episode to watch, but
well, we have 350 episodes catalog, as we say in the biz. So anyone can take a look at our previous stuff, but it's wonderful to have you. And I don't know that Ruth would have come on if not for you.
It was like, is Sophie going to be there?
Yeah.
I'm so scared, Soph. I know you've got my back. I'm fine.
I was just going to do
always,
a one-on-one.
Ruth, always.
Yeah. Her
Ruth's back.
Her performance rider included a Sophie, so I was like, okay, well, I'll get you that. Not doing the M&Ms, not doing the green M&Ms. So finally, at long last, someone whose duck-breaking appearance on this podcast has been put off for way too long. We have known Ruth for 2 or 3 years now at this point.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, so it's got to be. That's true. It would have been the 2019 Gooners versus Cancer campaign. So this is the 4th campaign that Ruth has been helping with. Just
nice.
The loveliest, most wonderfulest, most artistic person that we've met in this whole process. And I just really wanted to have you on the podcast. So welcome to your duck breaking appearance, Ruth.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an honor to work with you and see how, it's all developed. It's just been brilliant. I'm so proud to be part of this. It's fantastic.
Well,
So
I don't know that I don't think it's a coincidence that our fundraising and our profile as a charity has just exponentially risen every year that we've been involved with Ruth Beck Art. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's only because of that, but I'm not going to say that it's only part of that. So
I'm sure it's a coinky dink. I'm sure it is.
I love using that word, coinky dink. Tony uses it all the time, and I stole it. And wow,
you know what that is?
It's a coinky dink.
It is a coinky dink. It is a coinky dink. So, my first question for you, Ruth, it's not a quiz, but how did you come up with the name for your art shop? It's brilliant. It is absolutely genius.
No, but wait. Is this what? See, is this where I need to warn her? Is this like a funny question, or come on now? It's
my name and what I do.
It's like the time I asked, if you know our friend Ola, the first time I met Ola, which was followed by that first awful Crystal Palace game on a Monday night 5 years ago. But first time I ever met him, I'm like, so what is
repeated that?
I'm like, what does your Twitter handle mean? It's like BLAK Scorpion 3. I'm like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, Scorpio is my star sign, which was the first time I ever heard the word star sign. We call it zodiac. And he's like, I like the number 3. And he goes, and I'm black, which I was sitting right next to him. Like, it wasn't like we were DMing on Twitter and I never met him or anything. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that part I could have figured out. So yeah, but when I had my own business, my own financial business about 10 years ago, I tried to name it Ruth Beck Financial Services, and then they said it was taken already. I couldn't use it.
Typical. So typical.
Yeah. So
did you not?
Go on, sorry.
No, go on. No, go on.
I was going to say there's a German artist called Ruth Beck, and she does she's from like years back, and she does religious icons. Ooh. And lots of people message me and ask me if I have these religious paintings, and I'm like, I'm really sorry.
You should just send them a picture of Dennis Bergkamp.
This is a religious
literally, you've stolen it out my mouth. I should have said, yeah, and here's Dennis.
Mike, did you not know that we said star signs in Blighty?
I had at that point, I had to noodle it together to figure out what was meant by that. Star sign, Scorpion. I mean, I figured it out pretty quickly, but I hadn't heard it called that before. So, I mean, you can't keep that kind of stuff behind me, past me. I mean, I'm going to suss it out.
It was a pretty big deal. Like when I was younger, you'd always read your star sign in the paper.
Yeah, we had that too. The horoscope, and then on your birthday, there was a special one that would tell you how your whole year was going to go. But
I mean, you believed every word of it.
So Ruth, I know we've just got a short time together tonight, and we've got a lot to cover. So what I want to do is, we have a 24-hour podcast coming up a month from today, where we podcast from 7 p.m. UK to 7 p.m. UK the next day. We've got a lot of time to fill in there, and a lot of interesting guests coming on. And I want you to be one of those if you're free. And
okay.
in
not
that
too late. I need my beauty sleep, and I really need it.
Here's the thing: you've got your
you don't
pick
need any
of
beauty
time.
sleep.
I don't normally podcast at 9 a.m. UK time, but I will on that day. So anything that accommodates you. But
I don't get up that early.
That's when we spend. That's when we'll spend more time kind of talking about your history, your backstory, and I just want to point out, if any of you, for whatever reason, have not already watched these, after this show, go and catch either the Highbury Squad episode with Ruth, which was an excellent episode.
Oh, thanks.
First one. You were my absolute first podcast, Sophie, and
love that.
I was so scared. You were so brilliant, so thank you. And
then a couple of appearances with Fergus and/or Trev on the Guns and Yellow Ribbon. So make sure to watch those and catch up on Ruth's backstory. But today, one of the reasons we have Ruth here is, of course, because we are going to be giving away, as part of our Gooners versus Cancer prize draw, 5, and in fact, I'm going to make it 6, and I'll tell you why at the end. But we're going to make it 6 Ruth Beck art prints, which when we gave.
This is so exciting.
I'm
so happy to be here.
It's fantastic because Ruth's. I mean, and by the way, if you haven't already, you need to go to buyruthbeckart.com. It's this pretty cool web address.
It's just the best thing that ever happened for me. Thank you.
She just told me that something I did was the best thing that's ever happened to her.
He's so good.
so easy. It's just
he's
marvelous.
so good at doing that stuff. Yeah,
I'm the domain.
He loves domains.
It's the simplest thing ever, and
no, it's not.
Yeah, I have like 97,000. The funny thing is when they expire the next year, if they're for like a one-time use only thing, like I have a domain that says "Do Spurs have a new manager yet?" .com, and I don't think I need to renew that this year and pay like the $10 or whatever. So, but this one will be renewed year after year after year because it takes you to a page that is incredible and has all the art that you too can bring home. Although it's a little more difficult if you live far, far away to get 1 or 2 prints shipped. But what you can do is win them through Gooners versus Cancer. So before we get to the draw, and if you're here for the draw, this is the tease. We have to wait a little bit, but I'd say just about everybody that I've seen in the chat, the usual suspects: Dublin Gooner, Dempsec, Arnie, Daniel Robert, Tom Sable, Lynn Simpson, straight over here from the Highbury squad. Gary's in the house. So everybody that's in the chat and watching or listening that's not in the chat, welcome to the draw. What we're going to do first is we're going to go through what is our Friday routine now. It's the second weekly version of this, and we have another professional entry video to watch in here because it's Friday and it's
The Gooners Pod, Arsenal, Week in Review.
Do you know what this reminds me
of? The least professional thing you've ever encountered in your career?
When we come home from school, right, back in the day, Ruth will have my back on this one. We literally had 2 channels, 3. Oh. We had BBC, BBC 2, and ITV. Channel 4 came in the 80s.
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
And it reminds me of, like, do you remember Bagpuss, Ruth?
Oh, yeah. And the Clockwork Mice.
That sounds like something very convenient, actually. But...
and he said, yawn.
The worst production in the world, but at the time, just so adorable and cute. And this retro video presentation, Mike, is gold. Absolute gold. I love it.
I know I've learned and trained myself to do the worst, best stuff ever. And I'm really enjoying doing it. So,
you know what? I love it. It's different to anything out there. It's brilliant. It made me laugh. That's
my idiocy is a great niche. I mean, I did go to business school. I understand niche marketing and I understand what my niche is. So, be yourself is what it's all about. So I'm going to walk you through kind of the week in review with some photo and video accompaniment. And I'm just going to go Monday through Friday. And then what we'll do is we'll go back and very quickly, because we want to try to get to the draw in the next 15, 20 minutes or so, very quickly get your feedback on any of the things that have happened. And the first week we did this, it was a very, very heavy week of news. Not so much this week. So here it is. Monday, slow news day. So the Gooners podcast made podcast history with their famous show called Jews for Jesus. The first Arsenal podcast with 4 Jews talking about how excited they are about Jesus. Gabriel Jesus, to be clear. Including one who even looks like him. So in case you missed it, shout out to Melvin, James, and Julian. And we were disappointed, but we had no appearances from the following Jews. Danny Sweetberg wasn't able to join us. Also, Lee Judgenstein couldn't make it. And he said he was going to come, and then he just completely ghosted us. Trupowitz. We were very disappointed in Trupowitz, but the 4 of us made it a great show anyway. And we just all talked about Gabrielle.
People know you're Jewish, right? I'm just saying, I think it's a good caveat.
I hope. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, why else would I have all this stuff?
Yeah, okay. Just making sure, people.
If anyone, it would only be if you haven't watched this show and it's not immediately obvious to you, because I talk about it about 9 times a show. And the funniest part of that, by the way, Ruth, was when I went through the whole presentation of my Arsenal yarmulke. We got this. Hold on. Yeah, we got this. This you can't beat this quality. I think I got this on Etsy somewhere. And
is it Ruth Beck?
It was not Ruth Beck.
Oh, fair enough.
See, Etsy. Anything you want in the world, just type it in on Etsy and someone's made it.
Yeah, that one was from like 10 years ago. So, I didn't know you yet. But I showed you that.
Ruth becoming a cult hero.
Ruth's brand is...
I've made Etsy big, actually.
Brand, they owe you. Brand awareness. Brand awareness is massive. And, Sophie's in marketing and PR. I'm in a little bit, dabble in a little bit of everything. And so that's big. If the first thing he thought when I showed him something cool looking and mentioned the word Etsy is Ruth Beck, then
Etsy, they need to get in touch, didn't they?
You're already there. Yep. I mean, like YouTube has reached out to me because I've made them famous. But on Tuesday, the worst kept secret in the history of Arsenal is finally made public. We announce that we've signed New England Revolution and U.S. men's national team goalkeeper Matt Turner, who's already one of Arsenal supporters' favorite goalkeepers of all time because he ruined some kid's life who happened to be wearing a Tottenham shirt. Did you guys see this?
Yeah,
I know you saw it, Soph.
I didn't see that.
This is the moment that he became a guy in need of a statue. So first,
very well aware.
First, he declines to sign the shirt because of the guy wearing a Spurs shirt. Then he doubles back after signing the next shirt to tell him that it's disgusting. That's a guy. That's a guy right there. I mean, I love me some Aaron Ramsdale, but he's not ready for a statue yet. This guy is. On Wednesday, Gabriel Jesus arrives at London Colney and begins the 35-day process of finalizing his move to the Arsenal. The first 4 days of which consist of multiple photographed hugs and a 3-course barbecue dinner with Edu. This is, of course, yesterday, and we're still waiting. So, I mean, I don't think it's an if, it's a when, but can you imagine at this point, like Chelsea comes in and like snags and announces Gabriel Jesus.
No.
Also,
why do you think that's why they haven't announced him? Because there's a last minute.
Well, we're trying to sell him now.
That would be Fabrizio Romano done, finito.
Either that or we're trying to sell him, trying to flip him because we got such a good deal on him. We're now trying to sell him to United for $90 million. Also on Wednesday, it was announced that the All or Nothing dates are revealed, and it looks like the entire season is going to be done in a 15-day period, kind of like how our actual season was apparently done after 15 days last season. 3 episodes the night before the season, which I don't think is the greatest idea, on Thursday, the 4th of August, the next 3 on the 11th of August, and then the final 2 on the 18th of August. So at least we'll have the whole thing. And I wonder how it'll turn out, but that'll all be done before we even get to the end of the first month. So that was Wednesday.
Terrible scheduling. I don't know how Arsenal allowed that to happen. I'm sure they have no power, but they should have written into the contract. That is a dart ready to be thrown our way. Should the season not start well.
I don't like surrounding myself with negativity. That's one reason why, we have this panel tonight is just the positivity there. So why would you, I don't know, if we start the season badly, I mean, that's doubling down. If we start the season poorly, which we shouldn't based on our schedule.
No, positive thinking, PMA. Positive mental attitude, Mike.
PMA.
Better than the other PM something.
Why? How predictable am I or so?
How predictable am I?
The first thing, my mind hears PMA, and I'm starting to think, what should I make that obvious joke or not? It's kind of sad.
Have some chocolate.
I could have a piece of chocolate right now. Ooh,
well, there's no one stopping you. Thursday, big news day on Thursday. First, Rafinha deal completely falls apart. I mean, it's over. Edu's a failure. Our team is finished. I can't believe it. We didn't sign this guy who clearly never wanted to come here in the first place. So that happened on Thursday. And then someone that Sophie knows quite well, a former guest on the Highbury squad, Jack Wilshere's name being mooted for the U18 or U23 head coach position. I mean, I knew he was going for his coaching badges, but this is a bit surprising. I mean, is he going to be like teaching people to go in hard on a challenge, or is he going to be the cautionary tale?
What do you like to sing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can teach a new brand of up and coming gunners to hate that lot up the road, I suppose. But that'll be interesting. I'll double back on that in a second. Also on Thursday, Spurs sign a mediocre player that Everton paid too much money for like 4 years ago. And clearly this is the dynamic that we have going on at Spurs right now. This to me reeks of a top 4 or Conte leaves the team in disarray kind of move. And I am really, really, really banking on that last one. Also on Thursday, and not a whole lot of people have seen this other than those that watched the pod yesterday, but an 18-year-old wonder kid named Jaquinho Feinberginho goes viral with some mad techers, as the kids like to say.
Oh, yes! Oh, after the around the world.
Is that Jake?
No, it's Jaquinho Feinberginho. It's the Brazilian version. And yes, there was no keeper in there, but not even Matt Turner would have been able to save that. That was what do we say? Top bins?
Top bins.
We don't say upper 90 on this show. We say top bins.
No, top bins.
Top bins.
I should have done it. We should have had commentary on that.
You know, I could have put. You know what? I'll do that. I'll ask like Ian Dark to make to put some commentary to that or something.
Derek.
Derek. Yeah, that would be good. So that happened on Thursday, widely reported around the world, and Friday I've got no pictures because we got nothing today. I mean, still no Gabby Jesus, which is just odd. I don't know what they're waiting for, and it looks like the Butcher is going to go to United, and I am devastated about this. Ruth, you know about the Butcher?
Nope. Fill me in.
Lisandro Martinez, which I promised I would never actually say his real name because his nickname is the Butcher. Mm-hmm. And the fact that his nickname is the Butcher makes me want to sign this guy more than anyone I've ever wanted to sign in my entire life. The only person that comes close to this is when we were rumored to be getting Monchi. And I was like,
Monchi.
Give me Monchi. The sporting director for what, like Sevilla or something like that. And he was
Emery's right hand, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was going to replace Raul, and I just wanted some Monchi. I had there were memes of me eating cereal called Monchi crisps or something like that. I mean, Monchi and the Butcher are the two things, and it looks like it's going to go completely unrequited with Monchi, and I'm devastated about this. So
yeah, the Butcher's going to join the Red Devils. Yeah, it was inevitable, right? I mean,
no, it didn't have to be. This is what we're kind of haggling over for no good reason.
This is why I said on our show last week, do not be surprised if we only sign one more player at best. At best, right? And that's not being a pessimist. That's just my gut instinct. That's what I think will happen. After hearing Susie Rack at The Guardian talk about women's football and Arsenal, just go over and see the episode. It just smacks of money, finances, how the club is run across, both sets of the aisle. So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be doom and gloomy on a show that's supposed to be uppity, but I'm just saying.
Facts are facts.
You know what? If the Butcher signs for Manchester United, this is a big thing for me. If the Butcher goes to Manchester United, I'm canceling the shirt. Like whoever won the shirt, like there's a condition on it that if the Butcher goes to Manchester United, you don't
do that.
I'm not gonna give the shirt away. No, because I want other people to share in my misery.
It's a good job Rafinha isn't called like something cool. Yeah,
charity's all about feeling the same as other people, and I'm miserable. No, I'll tell you what, it's good that we're giving this away because otherwise I would just be too focused on the Butcher and I wouldn't be able to get to it. So we're going to focus tonight on the baker and the candlestick maker, of course. And so let's go through those real quick, and then we'll get to the draw in about 5 minutes or so. Sorry, I'm not putting many comments up tonight. This is I've got the controls on my own, and this is a very I don't know how Sophie does both, but this is a very photo dependent podcast so far. So Matt Turner, has he embraced himself to you, Sophie, with the Spurs thing? Are you waiting until he steps on the pitch to make up your mind, or is he already an Arsenal legend?
No one's an Arsenal legend until they do something. There's cult heroes, right? That you could argue someone like, is Podolski a cult hero? He could be.
Could have been, I think.
Tony Adams is a legend, you know. Maybe Freddie Lundberg's a cult hero, you know. You could say he's a legend. That's a whole. Let's do a part 2 on that one day. But
who's the all-time cult hero for Arsenal? Though I have someone in mind, and to me, he's the all-time cult hero because he was good for us.
We did this on the show.
He's been on our show a couple times.
Well, for me, I don't think Alan Smith is regarded. I think he's a legend, but I don't think he's got enough respect. You know, so I think he falls into the legend category. I'd have to think. I have to go back to my cult hero.
Would you say Ruth?
Anders Limpar for me, I think, was a cult hero.
My guy Ruth is Perry Groves. To me, he's the cult hero of all cult heroes, just because he was part of amazing teams. But like, I mean, he'll be the first person to call himself a cult hero rather than an Arsenal legend, and that's kind of what makes him a cult hero.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
So let's see. Would Jaquinho have scored if his dad was in goal? He would have. Yeah, it would have gone in even faster. Although I do have a track record of stopping penalties against former English lads from Hemel Hempstead who don't want to be English no more. So I don't know about that. Actually, I might have been able to get up there and stretch and kind of curl it around the bar. All right, so that's Matt Turner. He's got to prove himself to you. He doesn't to me.
Look, he's a very nice fella. He's very cordial. He's always been good with the media. He was one of the best players in Major League Soccer. He kept Zach Steffen out of the U.S. men's national team, won the Gold Cup, has improvements to make with his feet, which is surprising. And that's, I think, the caveat when Arsenal fans are reading scouting reports and stuff like that, and they see that, they panic. However, he's a really good shot stopper. He's very good in the air, and he's confident. And it's going to be, imagine having lunch with Turner and Ramsdale. I mean, you know, take a Valium because you'll probably need it. He's not going there to just, you know, sit down. He wants to play for Arsenal at some point. And who knows, he could be the League Cup or FA Cup goalkeeper this season. But like a lot of players, he's going to need time to settle in and adapt to what Arteta wants him to do.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see where Leno ends up, because Leno's got kind of a similar profile. Good shot stopper, not so great with his feet, as we've seen. And, you know, so
Mike, you know what? He could be the goalkeeper for the US men's team at the Gold Cup, at the World Cup. You know, the way Gareth Southgate trusts Maguire, even though he's rubbish for United or he's not playing, he trusts his players, right? Berhalter trusts Matt Turner. And that's why Zach Steffen is leaving Man City, because he knows his World Cup place is up for grabs. And Matt Turner and Sean Johnson are both breathing down his neck. So we'll see.
We'll see. It should be interesting. We might have that England-USA game the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know what the date is.
We should do a live watch along.
Oh, we got to do something. I'll be in Florida, but could be Matt Turner v.
Ramsdale.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And let's just hope that neither of them do what Rob Green did.
Oh my gosh, Ruth, stop it.
Oh, well, we do.
Oh, no, that would be so cruel.
What? Well, I missed that.
If there's a penalty shootout between...
Well, there can't be. Well, there can't be, at least in the group stage, but...
well, we can meet again, right? Yeah, we can meet down the line. Yeah.
In the final.
That would be so difficult for me. I couldn't support two teams in world competition more evenly than those two, and it killed me the last time they were in the group together, but it ended up well because they both got through. But I don't know. This time I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, anything else to talk about? Let's talk about one more thing, and that is Richarlison. I know it's not an Arsenal thing, but it's always relative to Arsenal when it's something that is with that lot. 60 million for Richarlison, really? I mean, doesn't that kind of seem like the kind of move a team would make if they weren't thinking beyond just this season or the next one or two seasons?
Do you know how I look at this one? I look at this one as he was Everton's top scorer last season, so that comes with a lot of dollars. He's young. He's a Brazilian. Market value goes up. But for me, he's ended up at the perfect team. I've never found Richarlison likable. That's not because he's not a likable guy to others who like him. To me, there's always been something. I just never thought he'd fit into our culture. So when he was mentioned, I was like, no, thank you. Absolutely not. There's a fantastic meme going around from Have I Got News for You, the BBC show, where they said, this is where Richarlison will be playing his football next season, and it's the Olympic Diving Centre or something like that, you know. It's just brilliant, absolute gold. And he, for me, has a lot of talent, but he's got an arrogance that I think gets in the way of his talent sometimes. So, you know, they already had a really good front three after their January transfer window, Tottenham. Richarlison goes in, he's going to want to play. Antonio Conte's a manager that can manage a lot of players, but I see this not working.
I hope not.
That's my humble opinion.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Let's hope you're right.
We'll be so gutted. Now, what bothers me most, and this is, you know, classic, and I hate to even put an article from this newspaper up on my screen, but it's classic English journalism and nationalist support for Spurs. But article from this week, I'm not going to say the source, but you can obviously see it. Antonio Conte is building a squad of Spurs shithouses, and £60 million transfer signing Richarlison will ruffle some feathers. Now get this. Brazilian firecracker has a bit of devilment that is seen as a welcome addition to the Spurs squad with a squeaky clean image. Come on, squeaky clean image to who?
It's all because of Harry Kane. This desperate. Here's what I want this summer. I want the Lionesses to win the Euros so bad on home turf because number one, that's going to take women's football to a totally different stratosphere in England. Number two, it's going to make superstars out of women who deserve it. And once they've ended up playing, not earning as much as men, they'll have something in their coffers. And number three, this golden boy who keeps being put on this pedestal time after time after time again. Also, by the way, our girl Leah Williamson will be lifting the trophy should we win it. It's just crazy. Son's supposed to be the squeaky clean guy, right? Imagine if another player had made that tackle against Gomez. Imagine, his shithouser, he's crying, he's elbowing, all this. It's nauseating. It's sickening.
Sadio Mane are like, I mean, okay, they might be really good people, but they are just like, I almost used a word that I probably would regret, but they're just like, they're not good people on the pitch. And it's not even that they play tough.
Harry Kane's terrible. He's going to injure someone one day the way he backs into people, and he gets away with over and over again. The desperation for him to win something and become this pedestal pin-up boy, to beat Shearer, beat Rooney, be the poster boy of English football. It's just like, get over yourselves. I would be saying the same thing if he was captain of Manchester United, Chelsea, or Liverpool. It's complete. The other fans now are jumping on our bandwagon. It's bugging other fans now, and I've seen that a lot.
And as much as I want England to win the World Cup, both women's and men's, but as much as having to do with Kane, the men's World Cup, it would be great if we win it like with him, like with his leg in a splint for the last 12 games, 8 games of the World Cup or something like that. I mean, I hate saying that, but I
never said it.
I want to win. I want us, because I do say us. When
England are not winning the World Cup.
Well, it's not. It doesn't look like it's coming home. I thought it was coming home in the Euros. It's not coming home. But if it comes home, I don't want that guy getting the credit for it. So he will be immortalized. He will be a sir. He will be everywhere until the day he dies. He will be the greatest British athlete ever. Trust me, Beckham will be like here. And I'm not saying that Harry Kane is as marketable as Beckham, right? Because I'm not saying that at all, but he will become, he's got a certain look about him. He's, for me, when he speaks, it's a turn off. But should that happen? Are you kidding me? Lift the World Cup? Oh, no,
He goes to another stratosphere.
You're making me actually. Some people will be very
Is this
happy
the wrong
about
show?
this.
Did I turn up on the wrong day? Am I in the
Mike Hers
show?
will be very happy about this because I'm a massive supporter of the Three Lions ever since 1990 World Cup when I was in London and it just I know a lot of people don't like it, don't root for the team because of Kane. I've seen Lee Judges do live watch-alongs where they score and everyone's like going absolutely nuts around him and he's just sitting there at the picnic table like going like this. And so it's dedication to his like not cheering for Harry Kane.
Mike, then the meme then for Arsenal fans forever and ever will be two captains, one for Tottenham, one for England, but the star at Tottenham. So you got Lloris and you got Kane who've lifted the FA Cup.
The FA Cup. Well, the
World Cup.
They'll never lift another cup, so this is their one opportunity to do it. So anyway, let's get to the point here. Because all the Arsenal talk really ended up going a lot more negative than I planned, and it was really kind of my fault.
Nah, it's not negative.
So
negative. Nothing's happened yet. We're still in the middle of the transfer window. Everyone stay calm. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. It's the summer. Get out there, smell the beautiful coffee, sit by the ocean,
smell the
go
butcher
into
going
town.
To Manchester. But yeah, okay. All right. I'll take my lead from you. So let's talk about happy stuff because normally Gooners versus Cancer is kind of something that runs from June-ish to October-ish each year. But last year was the culmination of a 3-year process of me trying to get something really, really unique for Gooners versus Cancer, something you couldn't find anywhere else and that would garner a lot of attention. And boy, do I owe a huge thank you to the aforementioned Alan Smith for making this happen. If you've been living under a rock, or if you're one of the 5.9 billion people who haven't watched our podcast and don't live under a rock, you will not know, but we have a shirt that is an 89 replica shirt signed by John Lukic, Lee Dixon, Alan Smith, and Michael Thomas. And whether you were alive back then, whether you have just become a fan recently, my hope is that you know enough about the club's history to know about Anfield 89, which was a massive, massive night for our club. Dare I say, one of the best nights ever for Arsenal Football Club. And Brian Moore, the announcer for that evening, gave one of the most memorable commentaries of the final rush up the pitch for Arsenal that led to us lifting the championship that night. And the 4 players involved have been kind enough to sign a shirt, write their portion of when the ball was at their feet of that Brian Moore commentary, and then sign the shirt. So this is something that you will not find anywhere else. And we have started back in, I think, early December, raising money for this specifically to kind of carry us over to this summer's campaign. 500 tickets were for sale at $25, which is a little bit under 20 pounds each. And as of early yesterday morning, we sold out all 500. So for this shirt, we raised $12,500 for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is fantastic. And, again, this isn't even part of our normal annual fundraising, although I do recognize that some people that donated to this may as a result, not be able to donate to the summer as they would. So it's going to be part of the whole pot, but it's all money going to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is fantastic. And we had people donating from afar, from a near, in person at events like the one at the Tollington that we had, and other events. And it's just really, really outstanding for charity. Now, I want to take a quick break because I've just noticed we had a super chat coming in from AFC Max. Thank you very, very much, Max, for a very generous Australian dollar contribution. Don't know the exchange rate, but it doesn't matter. It's very, very nice of you to do. Hey, Sophie, Ruth, and Mike, big up to you 3 people. Great to see you all together. And 3 of my favorite Arsenal people who all do amazing work. Also, on another note, Spurs officially have the most hated front 3 for diving. Love from Australia, Sydney. Thanks, Max. Appreciate it. And thanks for your generous contribution. All of our super chat money, though, we don't get lots of super chats because we don't really ask, but it all goes to Gooners versus Cancer, in case anyone was wondering. So thank you for that. Now, we're going to pick a winner. But first, we're going to pick 5 winners of Ruth Beck art, and I have selected 5 incredible pieces for people to choose from. And we're going to use our randomizer. This is the least technically, appealing part of the podcast, because it's just I share a screen with a little randomizer, but it's very, very important to me to make sure people know that I take this very seriously. A lot of the people who donate are my friends, our listeners, and that sort of thing. And I don't want it to come off as, I'm doing anything to impact the drawing. So here is. Do
we need a drum roll or something?
Well, we're not gonna do the draw quite. I mean, I want to share a couple of statistics because I like my maths, and we're going to share a couple of statistics here about the fundraising. So hold on for just a second. Okay, so our final donor list, we had.
Oh, it's an Excel spreadsheet.
It is an Excel. I mean, I'm a nerd. Let me try to get this a little closer. So. Donations from 242 different people and households from 17 different countries. In the U.S., we had 33 different states represented out of the 50, including Alaska. 500 entries, as we said, and $12,555 raised. We were a little bit over the $12,500 because a few people kind of put in a few dollars extra over the $25 entry fee, and so we got an extra $55 out of that. So the largest donation was of $1,000. It would not surprise me mathematically if this person ends up winning one or more, one of the prizes. And there were 38 people that donated over $100. Any donation is appreciated. Any donation can win. I did a test draw yesterday, and it would kill the person that won the test draw to know that they won. And I'm not going to reveal who it was, but it was someone who had only one ticket in the draw. So I do want to just kind of point out that it can happen. So 102 from the US, 95 people from England, 12 from Ireland, 6 Australia, Canada, and look, Soph, Cyprus.
The motherland.
3 entries from Cyprus.
Nice. It's probably my family.
I don't know. I didn't immediately recognize the name.
There was no Nicolaou.
No, there was no Nicolaou.
We'll check the names.
Scotland, 2 from Israel. Come on. Oh, by the way, did England or Israel win the U18s today? They were supposed to, that should have been wrapping up right by now.
I have not seen.
If anyone in the chat knows who won that, please let me know. I forgot to watch it. And 2 from Norway, 2 from Iceland, 1 from New Zealand, 1 from Spain, 1 from Sweden, 1 from Belgium, 1 from Denmark, and 1 from Holland. So from all around Europe, from, I guess we could call it Oceania, from the British Isles to the USA. It's just, I know that you like, Sophie, when you see kind of take a roll call of where people are watching the Highbury squad from. It's just really a nice feeling to know that it's all over the world. England won 3-1. I don't know how to feel about that, but I guess I'll be happy. So England won. England's lifting a trophy. It came home. Today.
Come on. Let's be.
What you have a problem with people who just because they're young?
No, that's a trophy. Fine. It's not gonna get the country on its feet.
Man.
Come on.
Why are you always so negative, Sophie? Sophie, why are you such a hater? It's not their fault they were born after.
Don't fuel any unnecessary fire, mister.
I mean, my God. I'm sure they would have, been happy to be born a little earlier if they could have. And
just don't get me in trouble.
Okay, I won't do that. And thank you.
That's amazing transparency, by the way, though. Very nice to let people know exactly where all the donors and stuff's come from. It's important.
Oh, it's exciting to me. I mean, if it was just all friends and family, I would appreciate it, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't feel like we've really kind of accomplished much other than me bugging friends and family. So, Max with another 10, saying also on another note, as part of the Arsenal Australian group over here, we all have mentioned the amazing work you're doing and have all donated. Keep up the amazing effort, Mike. Gooners versus Cancer. Thank you, Max. I really appreciate it. And Max has been on our post-game open mic shows a few times, and I really enjoy hearing from him. So I'm just going to sit here now and wait for his next super chat. I'm just kidding. All right. So Next, don't. Again, go to Gooners v Cancer for your next super chat. Don't go to super chat. All right, so now we're going to go to the random picker here. And we're going to pick the winners of the Ruth Beck art one by one, and then go to the finale. So the first Ruth Beck art painting. Maybe Ruth, can you say like a little bit of like about the painting, like what you were? I don't know if this is a ridiculous question to ask, but like when you came up with it, like I mean, I know it's inspired based on real scenery and real pictures and photos that were taken, but you know, can you add maybe a little bit of color to the pictures as I bring them up, or is that asking?
I'll give it a go. Yeah.
Okay. So the first Ruth Beck art print is, and let me see how, when I'm sharing this, oh, I've got to log into this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Gooners podcast draw.
Gooners versus Cancer draw.
Yes, so Gooners versus Cancer.
The first, and by winning a Ruth Beck art, you cannot win more than one Ruth Beck art, but if you win a Ruth Beck art, you can still win and will still be entered in the grand prize. The first one is,
oh yeah,
no, I love that.
It's a non-framed version of Ian Wright. Now, Ruth, which goal of his was this scored after? Was this picture taken after?
Was it the 178?
It was the 178th goal that this picture.
Such a classic moment.
Is that Ian Wright to a T or what?
Oh, it's fabulous. What I like about it is there's no face, because I hate.
That's what my wife says when I'm taking my shirt off. She's like, you know, the only thing I like about what's just happened is there's no face.
Yeah, so I was quite happy to paint that because I knew it looked like him.
Well, and I just love I mean, it's one of these, I guess it's not little known, but it's one of these things that like, if you know, you know, just kind of like the trivia question that's going to be asked it's not a hard one, but it's one of these things like, if you know, you know, and to give away the 6, which will be done to one of our live viewers in the chat.
Who's going to win it?
So the winner of the Ian Wright Ruth Beck art print.
Here goes the random picker.
That's what they used to call me in junior high school, was the random picker.
Sound like such a good thing.
Okay, I actually waited for that to finish because I was right. All right, so the winner of the Ruth Beck art Ian Wright shirt is Martin Fabi.
Yay!
Martin Fabi from Canada.
Martin!
One of our Canadian donors who purchased 2 tickets to the raffle. Martin has won the Ian Wright shirt. Congratulations to Martin. Let me go ahead and write this down. Otherwise, I have to go back and listen to my own podcast.
I can make notes for you. I'm good at shorthand.
Shorthand. All right. Because it takes a long time to write Martin Fabi. Okay. So Martin, you have won the Ian Wright shirt. Thank you very much. The next
Jags enter
of Ruth Beck art.
Oh, I really liked it.
Oh, I like that. I love that kit.
Yeah. Henri.
Now this is Thierry Henry, May 2006 against Wigan. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. At Highbury, at the Arsenal Stadium.
What is he thinking about in this moment, do you think?
He's thinking,
they're making a really big mistake leaving here.
Why do they have to go to that new ground? We won't win anything there. He's taken it all in and enjoying the moment, I suppose.
Now, is he about to take a corner?
I was going to say take a dump, and I thought, I can't say that, but there we are.
You should have made a thought bubble with what he was thinking, and then he's got a CK in his ass, which, you know.
He's saying this is going to do me piles, no good, something like this.
The version you get will not have a dump on it, and it will not have the words Ruth Beck art on it.
No.
So the winner of the Thierry Henry dumping picture is. I really know how to ruin a charity, don't I? The winner of Thierry Henry is Catherine Wilt.
Well done, Catherine.
Well done, Catherine.
Wilty.
Catherine Wilt purchaser of 5 tickets, and from my hometown or near hometown of Washington, D.C.
Yay.
Congratulations to Catherine. And we shall be sending you, or I could just drive it by.
I was going to say, do you pop in for a cup of tea? She's got cake.
I love
Get
when
the kettle on,
prizes.
Catherine.
Look, we will ship our prizes everywhere and anywhere, but it's kind of nice when like the heavy ones, especially, are not like I'm rooting for you, Australia, but I'm kind of not rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that is the second one. Let's go back to the drawing page. The third piece of Ruth Beck art. Now, we've just re-signed this guy, but this is a classic moment right here. Again, not framed. This one, the print, because we want you to frame it in the way that you see fit. But this was the quickest image I could find online.
God, those ribbons took ages to draw.
I was going to say, I was going to ask you,
every letter on the ribbon as well.
And I'm sure they're in the exact position that they. I mean, tell us. Yeah, how long did that take? That from start to finish.
The actual original, most of them are all A4 in size, so they're not massive. But yeah, they take. So I have to draw it first, and then I have to put base layers on, and then I have to put the detail on. So they take between 3 and 4 days. Really, it depends how much time I can dedicate to it, because obviously I've got a life beyond it as well. I've got things I need to do, but I like to spend as much time as I can. But if I start late in the day, I tend to go a bit blind by the evening, so I had to give it a break. But that was a tricky one with all the ribbons, but I enjoyed it. It was the hair. I liked his hair at the end.
Do you know what it is? It's really romantic.
Yes, it sort of captures a really special moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
like it means as much to him as whoever it is that he loves. Like the ribbons are like the hair of a woman, or I mean, it's just so romantic. Everything about it captures an atmosphere, a moment. It's really special.
Is that a simile or an idiom? That's a simile, because you said like. The ribbons are like the hair of a woman. I like that. You know what else I like, and I figured this was probably going to be coming is another super chat from Matt.
Yay!
Hey Mike, if Australia win, can you mail Sophie to Sydney? I'll DM you later. Yes, you have my guarantee. You have my guarantee.
You're only little. We can go in a nice little parcel.
I will love
put some
that.
chocolate in there for you.
Can you imagine I just show up at the post office kind of with Sophie under one arm?
That would be amazing. I have lots of family in Australia, so it'd be perfect. Let's make that happen.
I have family there as well, actually. All right,
road trip.
The winner of the Fabio Vieira drawing with the ribbons that are like the hair of a woman. And I'll throw in some hair of a woman. Steph won't be happy about this, but there'll be a little bit of hair of a woman in there. The winner, Silas Birdsell.
Whoa, that is a cool name.
Congratulations, Silas from Ohio. Silas Birdsell. You know how he got the money for entering this with his 10 tickets?
How?
From selling birds. Oh. So I'm glad that he had that money available. Thank you, Silas, for your generous donation.
Well done.
And we're three out of the 5 prizes from Ruth Beck are already been picked. So number 4, this one.
Oh, the old North Bank.
This one makes me sad.
Oh,
because this was where I could point to it, except you won't see my cursor, but the particular, what were they called? The rails, what was the name of those rails? Not the terraces, but the rails that you would lean against.
Oh, there's the terraces. It really is the terraces.
Well, the terraces are the steps, but the rails maybe they're just the rails. That's where I got my Arsenal education. That's where I fell in love with the team. That's where I just walked with a group of people trying to act like I knew what I was doing when I first went to an Arsenal game and walked out of the tube station, and just somehow ended up on the second group of railings, just to the left if you were facing it of the goal. So really dead center of this picture, maybe a little bit further down than dead center. That is where I stood with a soda and a pint of scotch that I had smuggled into the stadium.
Not a Marmite and a burger.
And my like 1 pound program that I had, and was reading up about Kevin Campbell scoring 59 goals in the juniors. I mean, this and it devastates me even when I go back and see pictures of the North Bank as a full seater stadium. I get upset because that was not the way I remembered it, and I know why it was. I know why it happened, but seeing the North Bank just with seats in it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So it's beautiful to see that, and you've sent me a few of those.
Just say that.
Yeah, you sent me a few of those, and I I kept one.
Good. Okay. That's why I sent you a few of everything. I did say,
I know. Well,
but a couple aside.
I don't skim from the charity very often, but I kept one of those.
I did just deliberately put extras in for you, though, right?
Thank you. A little sweet touch there. Okay, so the winner of the North Bank. How do I get this back? Okay. Oh, and I always, even when I'm sitting in the clock end at Emirates, I still do the North Bank part. So the winner of that drawing is, drum roll, please. Mark Chipchase.
Woo!
From North Carolina. Congratulations to Mark.
Well done.
Did you say Chit?
Chip Chase.
Oh, Chip Chase. Wow,
he's chasing. Cool name. He's chasing chips. Silas is selling birds. Catherine is wild, and Martin is just fabby.
Good name on the back of the shirt, isn't it? Chip Chase.
Chip Chase. Marky Chip Chase, who has participated in a few of our events before, which is great. So congratulations, Mark, from North Carolina. We need an international winner here. And we have Canada, but we need to go a little bit further afield. So not that I'm influencing this in any way, but I'd rather it be a piece of art that I'm shipping abroad than the shirt. But again, it is what it is.
I mean, Canada's international. What are you talking about?
I said that. But
I said, just standing up. It's Canada Day.
That's true. It is.
So he won a prize on Canada Day.
On Canada. It's also Bobby Bonilla Day, which is a little less known of a holiday, but yeah, Canada Day, and Martin has won. It's all coming together for him right now. I think he's had some difficult times lately. It's all finally coming together for him. And no, I have no clue of anything about his personal life. I'm just creating a backstory where there might not be one.
Show the next painting.
The next painting.
Oh wow! Yeah. That was the same day. Really, is the other one.
Same day. This is, if I remember correctly, this is the right after.
He had a dump.
yeah. He's actually asking people. Noticed. He's asking people for bog roll,
and they've thrown it in.
Now is this in between? Because it looks like it says 3-2, but is this after he scored his penalty or the final goal? Is this right before he went down?
It's a 4-2. Yeah, that is. Yeah, 4 minutes and 36.
My eyes are terrible. Your painting is good. My eyes are terrible. I thought it would be 4-2, but then when I thought it said 3, and I was like, maybe they just hadn't updated the score, but he had just scored, and that would be really, really attention to detail, like to know.
I actually put in everyone's face in the crowd, because I don't normally do the crowds in pictures. I used to do it like blurred, but for some very strange reason, I decided to put faces on.
Brilliant.
Now, were they specific? Like if I had been in the crowd that day, would my face have? I mean, you would have run out of paint, but but
I know you had a really sad face.
All right, so we are going to give away. We are going to give away a 6-1, and if I forget, remind me. But we're going to give a 6-1 away to a winner in the chat who's going to have to be quick to not Google. Please, you're on an honor system, but don't Google it. Be quick to answer this question. I was actually going to do one of these maths ones where I do the uniforms and I do like a complicated math program using uniforms, but then I completely forgot to do it, and I'm not going to do it on the spot. So it'll be a fairly easy question. But the 5th winner of the Ruth Beck art, the Thierry Henry asking for bog roll, is Marty Tomlinson from South Carolina. Congratulations,
Marty.
Marty.
Well done, Marty.
Marty has won He's won himself a Ruth Beck piece of art, and that will be sent off to you shortly.
The King of Highbury.
The King of Highbury.
Well, huh? How about them apples?
So, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. I cannot put this off any longer, and Ruth cannot stay here any longer. So, I've already completely misrepresented the amount of time she would have to dedicate to me. So yes,
You're so worth it.
So we're going to wrap this up in 5 minutes. It's going to be a very quick kind of crash ending, but we're going to give this stuff away. The winner of the grand prize. Let me just
wait. Is this the shirt?
Yeah. Let me take 2 minutes less than 2 minutes.
I mean, we need
here's the intro to the shirt, and we're going to take a minute and a half of these last 5 or 10 minutes that you have. This is what someone's about to win.
Good ball by Gibson. Fine Smith. The top charge to the midfield. Thomas. It's up for grabs now. Thomas. Right at the end.
Sophie, Max has said if Jags wins this, I'm calling rigged on the game. Jags, I don't believe. I don't believe Jags has entered this, so so it's not going to be Jags that wins.
Hold on, Mike.
And the winner.
Okay, it works.
The winner.
With a big intro. Oh.
The winner of the Arsenal piece of memorabilia of all time.
Check out this Verbo.
Damn, my timing sucks. Anyway, go on. Hold on 1 second. Let me go back. Can't do that now. Hold on. Here we go. I'm not going to ruin the moment. And
the winner of the 89 shirt that is being given away Robert Prestige from England.
England! Way! Well done, Robert! Woo!
Robert Prestige.
It's coming home!
The shirt is coming home. And look at this. Robert Prestige, 1 ticket.
Wow.
And
Well
I say
done,
that
Robert.
only, I say that only to point out that, you know, anyone can win. It's not about who donates more. Robert Prestige from England. Let me see without giving away anything to
it's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. The shirt is coming home.
Robert Prestige from Coventry, England, is the big winner of the shirt. He donated on the 6th of June. So congratulations to Robert.
Well
This is very excited. I'll be getting in touch with Robert shortly, and he's going to own something that no one else owns. It's a pretty amazing thing. And thank you to everybody that entered, to everybody that donated. And thank you to the Postal Service for taking my money for shipping the shirt overseas. But that's pretty cool, man. He says to the 2 ladies, calls them man. Thank you for joining me for that. Now, a special bonus prize to anyone in the chat. So get your fingers ready. And do me a favor and just don't use any kind of search for this, but and it won't take long to come up with the answer. But the first person to correctly identify the answer to this trivia question will receive this. Obviously, get in touch with me by DM after the show. But you will receive this wonderful piece of Ruth Beck art showing the East Stand from Avenel Road, of just the home of football, and it still looks very much like this.
It does
to this day.
It's amazing.
So this will go to the person in the chat who can tell us who scored the final goal in Highbury. Can you do the drum roll again?
Oh, you want another drum roll?
Who scored the final goal in Highbury? Don't look it up, people. Daniel Robert with the incorrect answer. Mr. Arsenal Podcast, Ryan with an incorrect answer, although he thought he had it right. Incorrect answer from Lynn, from Tom, from Max, from Andy, from Moss. All incorrect. Do you know the answer to this, Soph? Obviously, don't say it. Ruth, Soph, do you know the answer? Demsek with an incorrect answer. I'm surprised no one's getting this, but I appreciate that you're not Googling it.
Ray Parler.
Why would you? No, it's not. But why would you guess something? You can't win.
I know. I'm just trying to lead them up the wrong path because if
Bob
no one wins, do we get it?
Incorrect. Mark McCrudden with Chamak is obviously looking for laughs rather than a prize. Someone's got to get this. I didn't.
Has the time?
I'm not giving any clues. I'm not giving
the time passed for the drum roll.
Yeah, you don't have to do it anymore. It's not Bergkamp. It is not Perez. It is not Vieira. It's not Laurent. It is not Zlatan, Mike. It is Mexican AC Milan fan. It is not Mark McCreadon. Well, it's not anything that Mark McCreadon is saying. No. All right. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna move past this a little bit, and then when someone finally gets it, we'll announce it. But Gooners versus Cancer has
everyone's going for an Arsenal player.
Well, Gooners versus Cancer's got a lot going on right now. If you are a gamer and like to play FIFA, go to goonersvcancer.com right now, and there's an extensive discussion about the FIFA tournament. You go to GVC PlayStation or GVC Xbox, depending on which system you use, and they will get you there'll be a registration. I'm distracted because I'm also looking at the chat. Ryan, I'm sorry he did not score the final goal at Highbury.
But didn't he? Henry, didn't he score a penalty?
Henry did score a penalty. It was not the final goal at Highbury.
This is a trick question.
It's not a trick question. I thought you would know the answer to this. So check out Gooners v Cancer throughout the summer. We're going to be doing in-person fundraising in Baltimore. We're going to be doing in-person fundraising in Orlando for the team's visit.
Check.
We are going to be doing an all-night, 24-hour podcast on the 1st of August. You'll have all your favorite producers of content, your former players, your journalists, me, your a bunch of other people, and it's going to be fun. And then we're looking at doing, Soph, plan your travel schedule. Ruth, clear your schedule, please. We're doing an in-person event somewhere in London, probably on Thursday night, the 1st of September. So we're doing it. This is on the 1st. This is the 1st of July. We're doing the 24-hour podcast on the 1st of August, and then the show in London, the in-person event with some of your favorite people up on stage, to be named, will be on the 1st of September. I'm surprised we're not getting the answer to this. Actually, we do now have the answer to this, and the winner is Daniel Robert.
I gave them a clue because I said that you were being cheeky with it. That's not fair.
Have I ever not
now?
Been
Because he's had to Google to get that answer. Because more
than like, well, especially because he gave a wrong answer before. But
you were misleading.
Well,
trick.
The final goal scored in Ryan. I'm sorry, man. I didn't say in a competitive game. This was a charity football game. Which Highbury,
he brags about a lot.
He brags about it all the time, which is the only reason I know about it. But Alan Elder, also a penalty in the 88th or 93rd minute of a charity match to equalize at 3-3. And Daniel, I may have cheated. You can ask him on. You know what?
Yeah, to get that. I took a corner once at Highbury.
I'll sort it out. I imitated a Kevin Campbell goal once at Highbury, but it was just about 2 years ago. When I ran into I don't have the video of that, but look, I know you guys got to go. Thank you so much for joining me for this special episode. I'm really excited that we finally given this shirt away. I will be in touch with the winners and get all your details. And Ruth, please tell everybody where we can find your incredible shop. And if there's anything else you'd like to add to today's podcast before you get back to your.
I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone who's won, and well done, Mike, for raising so much money for the amazing charity and all the work that you do. It's just brilliant, and thank you, Sophie, for being here today as well. And yeah, my Etsy, who owe me money now because I make them famous, is on a brilliant website link that somebody not too far away has created for me, and that is buyruthbeckart.com. And yeah, thank you very, very much. And I've got loads in the pipeline. I haven't done an Arsenal picture recently because I've had 2 commissions I've had to do, but I'm on the case to do something a little bit different. So I'm hoping that's going to come out quite nice. So we'll see.
Well, I'm excited to find out, and one of these days, hopefully on the 1st of September, we'll get a chance to meet in person. So
yes.
Soph, great week of podcasts. You're going straight through the summer with the same great content that we've come to expect and appreciate from you guys. The squatties are strong. And is there anything else that you're doing that you want to,
No, tonight is not about me. It is about the charity, Ruth's great work, your collaboration. I'm just happy that I got to come and be a goofball and hang out and have fun. And I appreciate, I appreciate the invite, and brilliant. Gooners versus Cancer, award-winning, by the way. He never says that, and he should add it into the description.
Yes.
So well done, Mike.
That has been a labor of love, as everyone knows.
Yeah. A labor of love, and what a prize! One of the greatest I've seen in the Arsenal community ever. So well done to the winners. Congratulations.
Well, and I can't think of any better way of leaving it than that, other than to say thank you to everybody. It's not over yet. Go to goonersvcancer.com and get involved, whether you did before or haven't. We appreciate it, and looking forward to another great summer of raising money to kick cancer. Thank you for joining.